First contact. Alex fidgeted nervously in the entrance of the massive conference chamber aboard the intergalactic diplomatic station Celestial Nexus. The space buzzed with representatives from 37 star systems, all gathered for what the media was calling the most significant peace summit in galactic history. Alex had never felt more out of place. "Excuse me," Alex called to a passing protocol droid. "I can't seem to find my assigned seat." The droid's optical sensors flickered, dismissively. "Cultural Liaison Cooper. Your designation is Section L, Row 92, Seat 47C. Alex glanced where the droid pointed and saw nothing but empty space hovering above the crowd. "There must be some mistake. I can't exactly float. How unfortunate," the droid responded with artificial sympathy. "It appears the station's gravity controls are currently calibrated for species with natural levitation. The waiting list for assistive devices is approximately 3 hours and 22 minutes. Perfect," Alex thought. Just perfect. 3 weeks of preparation, countless briefings on interspecies etiquette, and now relegated to standing awkwardly at the back like an uninvited guest. Dr. Chen from Earth's diplomatic corps would be furious. That's when Alex noticed her. Queen Aya of the Nexari Collective didn't so much sit on her crystalline throne as hover above it. Her purple skin seemed to shimmer with its own internal light, catching the attention of everyone nearby. The living metal crown adorning her head pulsed with soft violet energy, seemingly responding to her thoughts. "Quite the presence, isn't she?" whispered an amphibious delegate beside Alex. "First female monarch of the Nexari in 7 generations, they say her." Negotiation skills ended the Orion conflict before it even began. Alex couldn't look away. There was something magnetic about the Queen, something beyond her obvious authority. As if sensing the attention, Queen Aya turned her eyes, dark as space itself with pinpricks of starlight, meeting Alex's gaze across the chamber. A strange sensation rippled through Alex, like static electricity across skin. Before there was time to process what had happened, one of the Queen's advisors, Commander Rena, was approaching. "Cultural Liaison Cooper?" she asked, her voice melodic despite the formal tone. "Yes, that's me," Alex answered, surprised to be recognized by anyone of importance. "Her Majesty Queen Aya requests your presence." Commander Rena gestured toward the central platform where the Nexari delegation was seated. "There must be some mistake," Alex stammered. "I'm just a junior liaison, barely out of training." Commander Rena's expression didn't change. "Her Majesty does not make mistakes. Please follow me." Heart pounding. Alex followed the commander through the crowd, aware of the curious stares from delegates of a dozen different species. The path seemed to clear automatically before them, conversation dying away as they passed. When they reached the central platform, Queen Aya turned her attention fully to Alex, up close. Her purple skin had subtle patterns that shifted like clouds across a twilight sky. "Liaison Cooper," she said. Her voice, surprisingly soft yet carrying a quiet authority that made Alex stand straighter. "I couldn't help but notice you seemed without a place to sit." "Yes, Your Majesty," Alex managed. "There appears to have been some confusion with the seating arrangements." Queen Aya's lips curved slightly. "Then the solution is simple." She gestured to an empty seat beside her throne, a seat that definitely hadn't been there moments before. "Sit next to me. I find myself in need of someone with your particular perspective." The surrounding delegates fell silent, staring in barely concealed shock. Even Commander Rena seemed surprised. "I wouldn't want to presume, Your Majesty," Alex said carefully. "It is not presumption when it is by royal invitation." Queen Aya replied, her tone leaving no room for refusal. "Besides, I have questions about your species that only you can answer." As Alex cautiously settled into the offered seat, which molded itself perfectly to human form, Queen Aya leaned slightly closer. "Now," she murmured, so only Alex could hear, "let us give them something to really talk about. Cultural exchange." The adaptive seat beneath Alex adjusted its temperature and firmness, providing a comfort that was almost unsettling in its perfection. Queen Aya's proximity made Alex acutely aware of the subtle fragrance emanating from her. Something like night-blooming flowers with hints of electric storm. Your heart rate has increased significantly. Cultural Liaison Cooper. Queen Aya observed quietly, her star-lit eyes studying Alex with undisguised curiosity. Are you experiencing distress? Not distress exactly, Your Majesty, Alex replied, trying to maintain diplomatic composure. Just surprised to find myself suddenly at the center of attention. The Queen's expression softened. Ah, I sometimes forget how overwhelming these gatherings can be for those unused to them. My first interstellar summit, I nearly triggered an incident by accidentally releasing stress pheromones near the Centauri delegation. Alex couldn't help smiling at the image. What happened? They began a spontaneous mating dance, she said, the patterns on her purple skin rippling with what Alex's translation implant identified as amused embarrassment. It took 3 cycles to convince them I wasn't making a political statement. The tension between them eased, replaced by something more comfortable, the conference moderator. Area, a being composed of swirling light patterns, called the summit to order, and delegates settled into their positions. While they discuss preliminary protocols which will take approximately 27 minutes, perhaps you could satisfy my curiosity, Queen Aya suggested, angling her crystalline throne slightly toward Alex. Your species fascinates me. I'm hardly an expert on humans compared to others here, Alex admitted. But you are an expert on being human, she countered. And sometimes personal experience provides insights that databases cannot. Over the next hour, as diplomats argued over procedural matters, Alex and Queen Aya engaged in their own private exchange. She asked about Earth's oceans, seeming enchanted by the concept of waves and tides. In turn, she explained how the Nexari evolved on a world with 3 moons, developing their distinctive purple skin to absorb the specific light frequencies of their triple lunar system. Your diplomatic records indicate this is your first major assignment, the Queen noted. Yet Dr. Chen assigned you to this summit. Why do you think that is? Alex considered the question. Honestly, probably because no one else wanted to come. The Celestial Nexus has a reputation for unconventional protocols. How fortunate for me that others lack adventure in their souls. Queen Aya's eyes sparkled with genuine warmth. Their loss is my gain. Something in her tone made Alex's pulse quicken again. The conference proceedings shifted to discussions of trade routes through contested space. The draconian ambassador, Kai, a reptilian being with metallic scales, proposed restrictions that would clearly disadvantage smaller worlds. Alex noticed Queen Aya's crown pulsing more rapidly, the patterns indicating frustration according to the cultural briefings. You disagree with Ambassador Kai's proposal, Alex whispered. Vehemently, she responded, but expressing opposition directly would violate Nexari diplomatic custom at this stage of negotiations. Without thinking, Alex raised a hand, drawing the moderator's attention. The representative from Earth wishes to speak, Area announced. Sudden panic gripped Alex, but Queen Aya's subtle nod provided reassurance. Earth has concerns about the impact of these restrictions on developing worlds. Alex began, carefully using diplomatic language while expressing precisely the objections the Queen couldn't voice herself. When Alex finished, several delegates murmured agreement. Ambassador Kai looked displeased but couldn't dismiss the argument. Well played, Queen Aya whispered as Alex sat back down, her fingers briefly brushing against Alex's arm in what seemed like gratitude. The contact sent an unexpected shiver of pleasure through Alex's body. I simply stated what seemed fair. Alex responded. Fairness is rarely simple in galactic politics, she said, studying Alex with new interest. You have unexpected depths, Liaison Cooper. Alex. Please call me Alex when protocols don't require formality. The queen's purple skin brightened slightly. Then you must call me Aya in return, when we speak privately. As the summit broke for its first recess, Commander Rena approached, looking concerned. Your Majesty, critical communications from Homeworld, she reported. Excuse me, Alex, Aya said, rising gracefully. Duty calls. But I hope we might continue our cultural exchange over the evening meal. There is much more I wish to learn about you. It would be my honor, Aya, Alex replied, watching as the queen moved away. Commander Rena lingered momentarily, her expression unreadable. Be careful. Liaison Cooper, she said quietly. The queen has taken an unusual interest in you. That rarely happens without reason. As she departed, Alex wondered what exactly was developing between human and queen, and why the thought of dinner filled them with such anticipation. Cosmic Crisis. The Celestial Nexus dining hall resembled a living garden more than a formal space, with tables nestled among bioluminescent plants and floating light spheres that adjusted their intensity based on the needs of different species. Alex entered hesitantly, searching for Queen Aya among the gathered diplomats. Liaison Cooper, over here, called Sarah, Earth's senior representative, her expression a mixture of curiosity and concern. I understand you've been spending time with the Nexari Queen. She invited me to join her delegation during the summit, Alex explained. Sarah lowered her voice. This is unprecedented. The Nexari are notoriously private, particularly their royal family. Be careful not to misinterpret. Courtesy is something more. Before Alex could respond, Commander Rena materialized beside them. Her Majesty awaits in the private dining alcove, Liaison Cooper, she announced, then added with unmistakable coolness. Alone, the alcove was separated from the main hall by a curtain of what appeared to be liquid starlight. As Alex passed through it, sounds from outside muted instantly. Queen Aya sat beside a small table laden with foods from various worlds, her formal regalia replaced by simpler attire that somehow made her seem more rather than less regal. Alex, she smiled, the patterns on her purple skin forming what Alex now recognized as pleasure. I was beginning to think Commander Rena had lost you, Your Majesty. Aya, Alex corrected, returning the smile. This is quite the setting. Privacy is a rare luxury for me. She gestured to the seat opposite her. Please, join me. They shared dishes from a dozen worlds, Aya explaining the cultural significance behind each preparation. Her laughter came more easily now, away from the formal proceedings, and Alex found it impossible not to be drawn to her. You never explained why you invited me to sit with you, Alex ventured finally. Aya's expression grew thoughtful. Initially, practical reasons. The Nexari value diverse perspectives and humans have a reputation for unconventional thinking. But now, her eyes met Alex's. I find myself simply enjoying your company. The moment stretched between them, charged with something neither was ready to name. Then the privacy curtain pulsed urgently, interrupting the tension. Commander Rena entered, her normally composed features tight with anxiety. Your Majesty, emergency transmission from the Security Council. The Draconian fleet has mobilized near the Epsilon sector border. What? Aya stood immediately. Ambassador Kai assured me they had no interest in that region. It appears the ambassador's words and his government's actions do not align, Rena reported grimly. Alert. The Earth delegation, Aya instructed Alex. This could escalate quickly. The main conference chamber had transformed into a crisis center. Holographic displays showed draconian warships advancing toward vulnerable colonies. Ambassador Kai stood, in the center, scales gleaming under the harsh lights. This is merely a training exercise, he insisted, though his body language betrayed his dishonesty. An exercise requiring fully armed warships? Queen Aya's voice carried across the chamber as she entered with Alex and Commander Rena. How convenient that this occurs precisely when we're negotiating territorial rights. Alex noticed how other delegates responded to Aya's presence. Even those from traditionally hostile worlds seemed to respect her authority. The Queen's crown pulsed rapidly, its pattern indicating intense concentration. The timing is unfortunate but coincidental, Ambassador Kai maintained. Then you won't object to a neutral observation team, Aya suggested, her tone making it clear this wasn't really a suggestion. The ambassador hesitated, revealing his bluff. I'll volunteer Earth's scout vessels, Alex offered, meeting Aya's eyes briefly, understanding her strategy. They're already equipped with monitoring equipment and could reach the sector within hours. Unacceptable, Kai hissed. This is sovereign draconian space. Actually, Sarah interjected, consulting her datapad. According to the treaties signed last cycle, that sector remains neutral pending the outcome of this very summit. Murmurs spread through the chamber as delegates realized the Draconians were attempting to seize territory while simultaneously negotiating for it. Aya stepped forward, addressing the entire assembly. This summit was convened to prevent precisely this kind of aggression. If we cannot trust each other's words in this chamber, then what purpose does diplomacy serve? Her impassioned speech stirred the delegates. Even Ambassador Kai seemed affected, his posture less confrontational. Perhaps he conceded reluctantly. A temporary observation mission could be arranged. As tensions gradually eased, Alex watched Aya masterfully rebuild the fragile trust that had almost shattered. Her wisdom and compassion shone through every word, every gesture. Alex realized with sudden clarity that these feelings went far beyond diplomatic admiration. Later, as delegates dispersed to communicate with their governments, Aya found Alex in a quiet corridor. Thank you for your support in there, she said quietly. You knew Kai was planning this, didn't you? Alex asked. That's why you wanted someone from Earth close by. I suspected. Not knew. Aya corrected, then hesitated before adding, but that's not why I wanted you close by. She stepped nearer, close enough that Alex could see the starlight patterns in her eyes. The diplomatic crisis may have been my excuse, but it's no longer my reason. Her hand reached up, fingers hovering just shy of touching Alex's face. I find myself thinking of you in ways that have nothing to do with politics or alliances. Alex, she whispered, and everything to do with how you make me feel. Alex's breath caught heart racing as Aya's words hung between them and the empty corridor, an admission neither had been prepared to make. Forbidden connection. The observation deck of Celestial Nexus offered breathtaking views of surrounding stars. Alex stood alone watching distant galaxies spiral across the cosmic canvas when familiar footsteps approached from behind. I thought, I might find you here, Aya said softly, her purple skin luminous in the starlight. You left the emergency council rather abruptly. I needed space to think, Alex admitted, turning to face her. What's happening between us is complicated. Because I am Nexari and you are human? She asked, moving closer. Because you're a queen and I'm just a liaison, Alex clarified. Your people need you. Your responsibilities are to them, not to whatever this is between us. Aya's expression softened, her fingers finally bridging the gap to touch Alex's cheek. My responsibilities do not negate my feelings, she whispered. And my feelings for you have become impossible to ignore. The touch of her hand sent electricity through Alex's body. Her purple skin felt like warm silk, the subtle pattern shifting with her emotions. This could create a diplomatic incident, Alex murmured, even while leaning into her touch. Then perhaps we should give them something truly worth talking about, Aya replied, her voice dropping lower as she closed the distance between them. Their first kiss was gentle, tentative, the meeting of worlds that had evolved light years apart, yet somehow fit together perfectly. Her lips tasted like stardust and possibility. As they separated, Aya's crown pulsed with patterns Alex now recognized as desire. I've studied human customs, she confessed, fingers tracing the outline of Alex's lips. But research cannot compare to experience. They found privacy in Aya's diplomatic quarters, a chamber that mimicked the triple-mooned skies of her homeworld. There, away from politics and protocols, they discovered each other, human and Nexari anatomy, different yet complementary. Alex traced the patterns on Aya's purple skin, discovering how they brightened at her touch, while Aya explored with equal fascination, murmuring that Alex's warmth felt like captured sunlight. Between moments of passion, they shared stories of their worlds, dreams of the future, and fears of what would happen when the summit ended. This cannot simply be temporary, Aya whispered against Alex's shoulder as they lay entwined. I refuse to accept that the universe would bring us together only to separate us. Then we'll find a way, Alex promised, knowing the path forward would be challenging but unwilling to imagine life without her now. New horizons. The final day of the summit arrived too quickly. The draconian crisis averted, diplomatic accords signed, and farewells beginning. Alex stood beside Dr. Chen as Earth's delegation prepared for departure, heart heavy with the weight of imminent separation. Liaison Cooper. Dr. Chen said quietly, Queen Aya has made an unusual request. She's proposed establishing a permanent Nexari embassy on Earth, with you as the designated human liaison. Alex's pulse quickened. And Earth's response? We've accepted, of course. Dr. Chen smiled knowingly. Interspecies cooperation is the future. However unconventional, it might be, Commander Rena approached, her previous coldness replaced with respectful acknowledgement. Her Majesty requests your presence for the closing ceremony. Liaison Cooper. She paused, adding more softly, she also asked me to give you this. The small crystal she handed Alex pulsed with the same patterns as Aya's crown, patterns that meant devotion in Nexari culture. In the Grand Chamber, delegates from across the galaxy witnessed the historic signing of the Celestial Accord, Earth and the Nexari Collective positioned as central allies. As ceremonies concluded, Aya found Alex in the crowd, no longer bothering to hide the brightness of her skin patterns when they met. So, she said, taking Alex's hands in hers, it seems we've created a new diplomatic position just for you. Very convenient for the Queen to have such direct access to Earth's representative. Alex teased, Aya laughed. The sound like music. The universe conspires in favor of those who dare to reach across stars, she whispered, before kissing Alex publicly, sending shockwaves through the assembled delegates. To new horizons, she murmured against Alex's lips. And cosmic love stories, Alex replied, knowing their journey was just beginning as Celestial Nexus prepared for departure to its next coordinates. Alex and Aya stood watching stars together, no longer separated by protocol or species, but united by something far more powerful, a connection that transcended the vast distances between their worlds, proving that even in the endless expanse of space, hearts could find each other across the cosmos.